These are the songs I wanna sing. These are the songs I wanna play. I will sing it every time.
Everything starts from now.
Hey, yo, it's your man, Shut Up Cole here from the beautiful Alexandria City Studios here for episode 49 of the world-famous Hentations podcast. Here with my illustrious co-hosts, and we have a special guest host here as well. Introduce yourself, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's your man, Unruly DW here. You know, back yet again, another week, another day, another dollar.
Nigga, we ain't getting paid for this shit. What are you talking about?
Not yet, man.
Not yet.
Not yet. You got to speak it into existence.
Not yet.
It's like B. Simone said, you manifesting it, bro.
Oh,
Here
Lord.
you go. Here you go.
Oh, Lord.
Here you go. You know, we got 9 to 5. We got an entrepreneur here.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's your boy, They Be Geek and Leak, and we here.
It's your boy Darian, aka Clark Kent, and we back with the special guest,
Matt McGhee.
Yes, sir.
What's up, y'all? Good to see y'all, man.
DMV's
Good to
own.
see you, bro. DMV's own.
DMV,
Man.
very own.
All right.
Come
So,
on,
yeah,
man.
give
Y'all
yourself
know
a...
me before I wasn't nothing, man.
I'm about to
Stop
say,
it.
man, I've seen the growth.
I'm about
So
to say, it's been a while.
I'm about to say.
That is true.
It's been a
I've seen
long
the girl.
time.
Long time.
I remember the first time Malik played some Matt McGhee music in the car. That's it.
For real.
Everything
I'm about to say, I thought it was a story.
That's all right. I remember it happened. That's all I remember.
All right.
Then
So for
then I
people,
played some Pee Wee Longway. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
yeah, he played Pee Wee Long away back in 2011. Like,
Oh,
before
2011 was a different time.
when he was Pee Wee Shortway. So I mean, shout out to that.
Go ahead.
But for the people, sorry, my rim shot didn't work.
That was funny. I liked it.
But for the people who aren't familiar with your work, Matt, just give yourself a brief introduction, I guess.
Talk your shit.
All right. My name is Matt McGhee. I just dropped an album called Everything Starts From Now. I just tried to touch on a lot of different bases from my traveling stuff. A lot of different sounds from a lot of different parts of the world. But my focus was to just, highlight Black music. So that's really what I'm pushing right now.
That's beautiful.
So when we promoting this, can we borrow that little intro joint from the album? These are the songs I
That's my
wanna
shit.
sing. Yeah,
That's
we
my
borrow
shit.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wanted to start the album off with that because I was like, bro, these niggas not going to get it off the first listen. Like, I feel like people not going to understand where I was trying to take it. So I just want them to know from the jump, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to start it off like that.
So Everything Starts From Now. How'd you kind of come up with the whole idea of the album? I love the title in itself. Like, I was like, okay, this is the type
I
of
love
time
the titles to
this dude
all your
on.
album. Like every one of
It's
your
like
albums,
perfectly timed.
like every one of your albums has like an idea, or like the
Yeah.
title's like an idea. So like I was gonna ask you, and piggybacking off Darian, like where do you come up with those like
With the titles,
phrases? Yeah.
it's really just like they're all timepieces. So you go back to, I have a project called 1920. That was when I was 19, 20, and I was making the album, making a bunch of music, like just going around, just doing my thing in the whole like DMV music circuit, just trying to make a name for myself. And then I dropped it when I turned 21. So that was just like the completion of that cycle. And then you go to like, Since You're Watching, that was just, I felt like at that time, thank you, bro.
That shit
felt
is
like
great.
at
I
that
fucking love that album. I just want you to know that. That shit is amazing.
thank you, bro.
Yeah.
At that time, I felt like there was a lot of people that were just like looking at the things that I was doing, but they weren't really speaking about like how they felt. And it was bothering me a little bit, but at this point, it doesn't bother me. But I was just like, well, since y'all are watching, like, let me just fucking give y'all some more shit to fucking, digest. And then the last joint before It Starts From Now, and that was just that wasn't I felt like a lot of people in the DMV were kind of like trying to exclude me from the conversations of who's really doing shit in the DMV. And I've been doing my thing for a while consistently.
Talking shit.
So like when somebody like deletes your number from their phone and shit, if you text them or you call them, it says maybe such and such. Like,
Mhm.
I may be deleted from your phone, quote unquote, but the phone remembers me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still solidified in this bit. So that's why I named it that. And then now everything starts from now. It's just like like since maybe in like in between those times of these projects, a lot of shit is happening. Like I've lost friends and you know, dealing with like relationships and family issues and things like that. A lot of things that mattered to me before don't matter to me anymore. Like I have a whole new mindset when it comes to why I do music, why I even am living, you know what I'm saying? So everything starts from now. It's like, fuck all that shit from before. Fuck what you're planning on doing. Right now is what matters. What you're doing right now is really like important because, you know, nobody's talking about what you did before. Everybody's attention span is so fucking short. So, you know, right now is really the most important thing. And that's where that came from. But it really came from the line in Juice.
I caught that Tupac. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and that's I was telling y'all when we was off when we weren't recording. Like I've been just like paying attention to so much like Tupac, Death Row, that type of shit. Like I think like I was already hip to it, but I was like really studying it while I was making this project, just to see like, you know, what type of person he was and the things that he stood for and like how he, you know, asserted his dominance in this industry and things like that. Like those are things that I try to like draw from when it comes to, you know, how I move and shit.
Damn, that's real. Damn, that was such an epic explanation of everything, and we came up with the Hentations name from a group chat, like from our group chat. Malik just said it one time, and you know there was no deep meaning or anything like that.
Nah, that's a hard ass name, bro. You know what's crazy? My dad, like, because I told my dad that I had to do like an interview with Malik. You know, my dad knows Malik and shit. So he was like, yeah, what's the name of the podcast? And I told him, he's like, what that mean? I was like, sound like some nigga shit. Like, probably Hennessy inspired.
Hennessy inspired, man.
Yeah, I mean, basically, that's what it is. But yeah. All right, well, glad to have you here. So I guess like we haven't done the toe segment in like well, I guess we have, but not officially. But I think we can bring it back now since the world is kind of, I mean, God, the world's still a pretty messed up place, but we are kind of getting back into
it's better than it was last week. Last time we recorded, maybe kind of.
I thought the world was gonna end last time we recorded. Like last time we recorded, we were literally watching CNN and watching the protests. Like literally, like pop
niggas was going
wild. I'm about to say they was wild.
Y'all ain't go out there.
Not that first week.
I ain't go to Atlanta, nigga.
I went to.
Atlanta, you know,
this nigga.
See, I went out there when they was looting, so I went out there probably like 2 or 3 days after that. But like, man, I could talk about that shit all day. Like it was just like
that shit was crazy.
Like, it really was. And it was just like I appreciate the sentiment, but I just didn't like the fact that there were so many white people out there.
Yeah, I mean, like yeah. I was there Saturday, and yeah, like I mean, so like what struck me Saturday is, I guess, so like
was Saturday the one with T.O.B. out there?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, I was out there too.
Yeah. So like, what struck me was like, you know, if you talk to like Republicans, or you talk to Trump, they think that like Black Lives Matter is like some organized thing where like there's like a CEO and a CFO and they have a headquarters here, and it's really not, right? It's more like an idea, and people are rallying. People are rallying under the banner of it,
and that's the beauty of it.
But yeah. My point is like when it started with Ferguson and what was that 2014, 2013, whatever. Black Lives Matter, that was a dirty word. I know, just saying, like back then, just saying Black Lives Matter, like that would turn people off. People would look at you funny, like you were like some radical ass nigga or whatever. But like now, like that shit is
Romney was out there saying
I'm about to say, this shit is mainstream out here. And when I went into the protest, like, I mean, like that was one of the most diverse, like, what I said was, we've gone to music festivals in the past. And like that's what it reminded me of. There was like just a million people. You're ass to elbow with everybody, but like everybody there was like on like some love shit, right? Like nobody was like, "Oh, get out of my way," you know what I mean? No elbow.
Mhm.
Everybody,
You got a common
you know what I
enemy,
mean?
man.
Literally, like I never felt safer in my life, even with the threat of COVID out there. Like I felt safe. Like I think like nothing was gonna happen. Everybody was there. We were all for one goal. Like it was like literally every race, every sexual orientation, like that shit. Like that really was like some life changing that shit. Like everybody there was for one cause. Like I mean, like the only time like there was like it wasn't even an issue. It was just like so they had the Mochella stuff that was going on, and they had and they were performing like in the middle in front of the White House, and then there were like these like super militant ass niggas with bullhorns and shit, and so they was there on like a little truck or a bus, and like everybody was there. So like the other people were trying to march through, and they were performing. Like this nigga came in with this bullhorn. This is not a festival. Don't forget what the cause is. Like this is serious.
Was it a white man that said that?
No, it was nigga. It was nigga. Like,
okay.
But like, I mean, but
He's
like,
gonna get stomped out, Mo.
yeah, I mean, now they got through. But my point was like, they let him pass or whatever. Like that was like literally all them people out there. Like literally, we got there at like 6 o'clock. People have been out there since like before noon.
Oh yeah, no, I was out there early.
Yeah.
I was out there early.
Yeah, and like I said, people were out there people were out there that whole time, and that was like the most like contentious thing that happened. Like that shit was chill. Like that's what blew my mind. That's how I knew this shit is different, bro. Like this shit is different. Like, and I was telling my my fiance that like I don't think
you engaged.
Oh yeah,
Like
I gotta get in trouble.
Like,
This nigga stopped everything. Wait. We gonna come back to your story.
Yeah, fuck what you got to say right now.
Congrats.
You,
I didn't even know that,
it.
bro.
Yeah, nah, it was I think it was it's been about a month now, maybe a little bit longer.
Oh man,
than
shit.
Yep.
That's what's up, man. I like that. I like hearing shit like that, man.
I appreciate that, man. But yeah, like so I was telling her, I was like, I feel like I didn't even feel like scared against like the cops or the protests. I feel like we have so much momentum on our side. Not that shit can't pop off because like, you know, fucking Trump. If Trump got an itch to go take a fucking picture in front of White House lawn, they would have shot out grenades and shit. But my point was like, I felt safe because like we got the public sentiment is on our side. Like the wave is on our side. We completely went and took this shit. And I think like you're really going to get change after this. Even I was talking to my dad like the other day. And he was like, damn, like I think shit's really going to change after that. Like, and we can get into the rest of it later on. But like that shit really blew my mind. I was really happy to be out there. Dante, I know you went out there too. I'll let you explain.
Oh no, I was gonna say, you know why I felt safe? Because I know I can outrun some of these niggas. This shit pop off.
That's
you can't outrun tear gas and rubber bullets, Dante.
I'm about to say, a lot of people probably
to be fair, they can't beat everybody's ass.
No.
You just gotta outrun.
If you was
rubber bullets only gonna hit one person.
There you
bro,
go.
Listen, you were in front of the White House, were you not?
Oh, fam, I was right in front of the White House. I ain't gonna lie. I was nervous when they started shaking the fence when I was there because I was like, bro, if y'all knock that fence down, we gonna have problems.
We might have been out there.
No, I was out there on Thursday. I was out there like a late night on Thursday, and niggas decided they wanted.
But no. Saturday they brought a projector. They brought a projector, and they was projecting shit onto the White House, and they had a spotlight. And they were pointing at the snipers on the building over there and shit. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, all right, do that shit to the sniper if you want to.
But yeah, like I felt safe because like I just feel like. Again, like you look at the polling, like it's just like the optics of everything, like compared to what it was like 5 years ago. Like if you speak out against Black Lives Matter, if you say anything crazy about it, you'll be in trouble. Like 5 years ago, if you had Black Lives Matter in your Twitter bio or whatever, like people will look at you like you crazy. Now, if you say anything against it, like you're like that might be it for you, right? Like if a politician come out and say, "Oh, Black Lives Matter is a," because that's what
he learned the hard way.
There you go, Drew Brees. Like, dog, Drew Brees. I don't think Drew Brees is. I don't think Drew Brees. I ain't never heard nobody say nothing mean about Drew Brees. That nigga been in the league since I was in elementary school, bro. I never heard nobody say nothing bad about him. No.
Yeah, but nah, this is the time where everybody's real feelings are being exposed.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you know things are coming out every day, but I feel like this is the type of shit that we needed to know because we need to know how these celebrities, quote unquote, feel about us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not standing with us, then you're not standing at all, and we're not fucking with you.
Yep.
Right.
All right. Let's put a pin in that. Let's do the toast first because I do want to get into celebrities. I think that's what we want to. I think that's where we want to go because goddamn, man.
10:04.
4.
Oh,
Yeah.
4. My bad.
Yeah. So let's get the toast out of the way and then we can get into celebrities.
I don't have a drink, but.
Oh no, that's fine, man. You can do virtual toast. Okay. Virtual toast celebration.
Cool.
All right.
I got 2 drinks aside.
Dante, have you retired your bit or is it just we're just going?
Oh, my bad, guys.
Okay.
I have to do that. God damn.
Like you didn't have to do it, but you did it though. All right, who wants to give it a toast first?
Yo, man.
Wait, should we explain, Matt? You know what the toast is generally?
I
might say you didn't even explain it. I mean,
Nah, give me it.
Basically, the make a toast segment is just like, it's always a lot of crazy shit going on. And it's so easy to point out the bad things like going on. So we made it a point to like each episode at the beginning, just shout out something good that you see that's going on, whether it's in like the world today, whether it's some in your family or some in your personal life, or shouting out your friends or
even
whoever
something
you have.
you've seen, whatever it is.
And so, just an example, I can kick it off. I mean, one person I wanted to shout out was Dave Chappelle. I mean, I don't know if y'all all saw the.
I watched that shit as soon as it came out.
Yeah, man. I had to. Like, I was like, I was really curious, first of all, because I know Dave Chappelle is able to take like current events and turn it, kind of make you laugh out of it. So I was curious how he was going to attack this angle of George Floyd and everything that's going on right now. And honestly, like the reason I want to shout him out is because honestly, Dave Chappelle does not he doesn't care what everybody else thinks. He's going to use his platform to express how he feels. Sometimes he gets backlash for that, but in this case, it was so captivating. Like, here's a comedian dedicating his whole special to talking about this issue. And I know some of them people in that audience was like, damn, that's what I paid for. Like, come to see, but at the same time, he don't he's gonna speak on it. So,
I didn't even feel that wasn't even like a routine. It just felt like he got up there and just
got there and
just spitting, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there was 2-3 jokes, maybe in that.
That was the first time I had ever seen him like that.
Yeah,
and it was hard to watch, but it was necessary.
Right. That's how I felt too. Never seen Dave Chappelle like that, but he got in his bag. And like I said, captivating is probably the best word I can use. I couldn't he was hidden, on a different type of emotion. Like usually laughing, but serious issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that was needed, right? I mean, it was only 30 minutes, but again, there's only 2, 3, 4, something that you can just describe as a joke, a setup and a build. Everything else was just him talking, and he's just funny naturally. So some of the times he says shit, it's just funny.
It was funny.
But that shit was real. It made you think, right? That was needed because Dave Chappelle, he's always kind of been on he's been the one comedian I feel who's tackled race really well. Just being honest about race. And I thought he knocked it out of the park there. I mean, I know sometimes he'd be controversial or whatever, but I thought he knocked that out of the park. So yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, anything else to add there, or do you want to go next toast?
That's my toast. Who's toast next? Who got up next?
I shall go.
Oh damn. Okay, cool.
Nah, you good?
You good, nigga?
All right. I'm gonna give my toast to the PG County Public School Board. They're trying to get police out of PG public schools. They're taking steps toward doing that, and it's a controversial thing because I think there's a law in Maryland that says that you have to have a certain number of police in every school. But I think and I don't think this is the episode where I get into the defunding the police debate, but I do think taking a step to getting, because you got to think about it, right? We have police in schools, right? Just the idea that we have to police our school, we have to have armed people with guns in our school, and I get it. There's some schools that whatever might be prone to violent outburst, but their idea is if you take police out of schools and you replace police with mental health people or counselors that can relate to the students on a personal level instead of somebody who's just there as to be honest,
authoritative force.
Oh yeah, authoritative and oppressing force. That is probably going to be more effective than somebody who's there with a gun or a taser or whatever, or like a cop has. And that's a controversial thing.
I think it really is. I think when it comes to shit like that, because I went to high school in Howard County, So that's a totally different like world from what PG County is. Right. So I think when you go to school and you have literal police officers there, it makes you feel like y'all are being like watched, like you're in jail.
Like you're expecting some shit to happen.
Yeah. And it's like it fucks with your mental. Like that'll make somebody feel like, nigga, they want us to do some shit. That's already putting you on the defense.
Right.
There you go.
So, and then and where I went to school at, we didn't have any of that. We didn't even have like, there was security, but it was probably like 1 or 2 security guards in the whole damn school.
Yeah.
So it's like, that doesn't even like make you think that, you know, I just feel like that just changed the dynamic of the student to faculty relationship.
It does. And to add on that too, like a lot
taking
of
the police out of it.
Yeah, out of the.
I was just gonna say, taking the police out of it will probably help.
Yeah.
Oh. And a lot of these schools already like a lot of them need like upgrading. Like a lot of these facilities are so old and run down. They already look like prisons from the outside. So like you had this feel of being
cop in that motherfucker.
Yeah, so it's like you in lockdown.
And it's already distrustment in the police force before all this happened, and then now they grow up seeing that,
bro.
And that triggers people, man. Like especially like, you know what I'm saying, like these kids grow up, they go to college, you know, and you know they go out or whatever happens, you know what I'm saying, and they see they're always just around police, and just grow resentment towards that. Like it might have been a bad experience with a police officer that was at this school, and it's now tainted their entire view on police officers in general.
Like I think it's such a I think like the mental health aspect of like that type of stuff is so like underrated, and we don't think about it enough. Like and take that away, you're talking about like high school kids where like your natural urge is to rebel. You know what I mean? And then like, but like you're just even if you're not a bad student, you see like a cop is in your school, and that you're like a teacher. You're like this. You're like that. You're like you're an oppressor. You know what I mean? Like you're here to rule over me or whatever. And that's just such an American thing to me. And I'm sure there's other countries they might have that, but like that's such an American thing. We need, you know, it's so bad here. We have to have cops in our schools. Like if you like so many issues like with like police encounters boil down to mental health and how we just don't do enough to address mental health issues. Like having somebody who can go and, you know, you can say it sounds super liberal or whatever, just having somebody who's there who can relate. And I'm not talking about just having, you know, a sociology major from like freaking Harvard, some white woman come in. I'm talking about somebody who looks like those kids who come in and talk to kids that are having issues. Like I that could be invaluable. So I was really, really happy to see that. So good job.
That's a whole topic.
Yeah, I'm about to say you can get real deep into that. Yeah.
All right, who got the next toast?
I'll go. Mine is as much crap we give him is Reverend Al Sharpton. That's my toast gonna go to. As much as mean, as much as we talk about, what you mean, bro?
You taking more selfies?
We'll say, man, like I don't know if you guys watched or had the opportunity, you know, I don't know if you guys were working, but I was watching
the funeral,
the funeral.
Yeah.
And you know, like as much, you know, like I said, as crap as we give Rapper Al Sharpton, he is always going to be either the good or bad voice of, you know, black person or black people, for give or take. I mean, he was the first one to go out there to talk to the you know, George Floyd family. He obviously did the you know, the sermon. And it was like a couple things that kind of just stuck out to me, man. Like he talked about, you know, how George Floyd had a knee on his neck, but he was like, man, that's not the first time that the black person had a knee on his neck. The black people have had a knee on their neck since they, you know, came in through slavery. You know what I mean? Like, and he was like, and we can't breathe. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're just asking for, you know, a fair chance. And then like, it's just like, you know, just shows, you know, obviously the systematic racism and, you know, the things that we go through. And I just think like those words like that, man, like has just resonated me since I watched it. It's just that, you know, all we're really asking and what we're fighting for Black Lives Matter is just, you know, a fair chance. And, you know, I got to really shout out to Reverend Al Sharpton, man, for, you know, just those words, man. Like it just, all it takes is a phrase or the words for people to get behind. And that definitely resonated with me. So I got to give him my toast, man.
Yep.
Shout out to Al, man. He like an OG in the civil rights.
No.
Sometimes
Slick
that's
back.
for better or for worse.
A pimp name, slick back.
Hell yeah.
Yo, cuz. All right, Dante.
Yo, shout to Travis Porter. Because I saw the niggas was having a concert down in Atlanta this weekend, like in a parking lot or something like that.
It's a party pack.
Yeah,
it's a party pack.
Shout to them niggas, bro. Let us never forget the Travis Porter cross so that Migos could fly, nigga.
Are they the A ladies niggas?
Yes.
Yes, I love that song. All right.
Yeah. Shout out to them niggas, man. Y'all had some real serious
Roscoe Dash part of Travis Porter?
No,
He's just a person.
You said
a person.
He was fucking with them though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Travis Porter was 3 random niggas.
He was fucking with them.
Okay. I thought they was all one conglomerate.
No. It was that Atlanta time scene.
It's like how Migos was fucking with Skipper the Flipper.
Skipper the Flipper.
Way back.
Hey, see, this bring me back, man. Me and Max used to just fucking ride around listening to motherfucking Skipper the Flipper.
Come on, bro.
Pee Wee Longway.
That was your bag.
Oh, man. Hell yeah.
Look.
Hey, Malik, remember Smash on Who?
Smash on Who?
Bruh, that was my shit.
This is for the city. Hey, that's my shit, boy.
Bruh, Atlanta really was. Yeah, Atlanta been doing their thing for a long time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the Mecca.
I got download that
Mecca for a little
Mecca
while
now. Yeah.
Shit, man. Shout out to the.
So it's my go.
Yeah, it's your go, man. What's your toast?
All right. I want to toast to. It gotta be a specific person, or
It
could be a group, organization, like
idea, whatever you got.
Idea.
I want to toast to just Black people in general, and this is why. Because we've been going through so much shit, especially in the past few weeks. But like, it's everybody's been talking about, like you got to read the room and
right,
certain things that aren't appropriate to post and things like that. But now things are kind of getting back to the point where people are realizing that we still have to live our lives. We still have brands to promote. We still have money to make. We still have businesses to run and everything like that. So like that doesn't, because we're still living our lives, that doesn't mean that we are insensitive to what's going on. It's just, we still have to live.
Yes.
Right. And then it just clicked for me. It's like, for anybody that says Black Lives Matter, you still gotta fucking realize we still have lives to live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to like say that I really like have a real genuine love and appreciation for Black people in general, because like we go through so much shit, but we really like still have to live, and we're doing that.